Hello and welcome back, hackers. I really enjoyed reading your digital literacy narratives, and everyone should have gotten their feedback by Wednesday, and hopefully you've done your journal entry at least before Saturday at midnight. Now, at least one of you mentioned some confusion over the requirements for that last blog. And one of you mentioned that because you saw the 500-word minimum for the rough draft, you thought that was the minimum for the final blog. And unfortunately, that was not the case. So if you were confused by this, if you didn't realize that 750 was the minimum word count, we can correct it. Now, you did lose points if you didn't meet the minimum word count, but we can always rewrite the blogs to get a better grade. So the process for doing this is very simple. You just need to email your paper to Virtual Writing Center at cnm.edu with the following information, particularly the information for the assignment and any feedback that I had given you so that the tutor knows where to focus. Once you get the feedback from the tutor, make sure and forward that on to me so I know that you did go through the Virtual Writing Center. And then you can rewrite your blog based on their feedback and my feedback, and then just cut and paste the blog into an email to me to resubmit and to get your blog regraded. So our next unit is we're going to focus on a different genre. This genre is going to allow us to do a little bit of digital detective work. And what I mean by that is that you'll be doing primary research on a digital community of your choosing. Now, primary research, as you'll read about later, can entail just observations of these digital communities, which means just scrolling through the discussion boards to kind of see how these people interact in the communities. Could also, though, mean interviews, surveys, and all of those details will be explained further along in the unit. Now, this genre is different than our narrative genre, specifically because it has a different purpose. The literacy narrative, we were wanting to show the reader something, right? Show the reader a particular experience, and you all did that very well. This genre, this informational report on a digital community, the purpose of it is to explain to the reader, specifically explain the primary research that you've conducted on this community, to kind of explain what the community is about. Now, the hacking tools that we're going to have to figure out from this genre are going to be different, of course, than the narrative hacking tools. And they might be a little bit tougher than the narrative, right? A little less straightforward. But this is why I thought it was important to introduce this figurative concept of hacking tools. Because if we can figure out the fundamental building blocks of a genre, just like we did with the literacy narratives, right? Or, as I like to call them, hacking tools, same thing, fundamental building blocks of the genre or the hacking tools, then we can figure out how to create our own version in that genre. So this is just a different genre, but we're going to do the same thing that we did with the last one. We're going to find the hacking tools in this genre based on examples, and then you guys are going to write your own. So here is a copy of the blog prompt, and I will also link this in a much more readable format under learning modules. But basically what you'll be doing is finding a digital community. And as Jonathan Hutchinson will explain in the video that you watch, a digital community is different than just a digital network, right? Digital communities are more specific. And he says they're defined by reciprocity among the members and a feeling of belonging of those participants. So the community is, it operates much like a face-to-face community, right? Where people belong in the group and they interact, except for that it is digital and held online. I've listed several examples here of the type of community that you might look into, but I'm really interested that you follow your interest in what you want to research as far as digital communities online. So a couple of examples I have here, it could be a forum that deals with a specific sport or hobby. It could be a Facebook group for a particular video game or type of video game. It could be a fan group for Harry Potter or some other specific type of fan series. But these are only a couple examples to get you thinking about the digital community that you want to write about. And the requirements down at the bottom here are somewhat similar, but you'll notice there's a bit of difference here. For one, the minimum word count is 1,000 words, so a little bit longer. But also, you'll have to include research, and you're going to have to cite the research in this genre. So to be able to explain to the reader sufficiently, you'll need to include research and cite that correctly. Okay, well, I'll have all the links under learning modules to explain what we're going to do in the coming up assignments, and I hope to see you all online.